Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Hess, and today I wanted to go over what type of Power App should we use and where do we start with Power Apps. If you are brand new, and I'm very opinionated about this, if you are brand new to Power Apps, let's say you just want to see what a Power App can look like, then come up here to Copilot, write an app for me with dogs about their breed, size, and color. Just come up there and just experiment and then notice what Copilot's going to do, right? Right now, in the beginning of 2024, Copilot's only going to create Dataverse tables. That means you need premium licenses. So when you do this and you click next and you create, you're going to get a Power App that uses Dataverse. So we're going to let that build out. It's going to create our app. We can go to Copilot over here on the side, right? This is Microsoft's dream. They don't want everyone to have to know how to code. They want the no code to take over and to be able to create for you. And as Copilot grows, I do believe that can happen. They even give you extra things, add text, add a button, and you can use Copilot to help you create an app. Like we have a full app here. It has data, it has a backend. We can edit. We have size, breed, and the color. So we have a pretty good app that is actually mobile friendly. That's what you could do in the first 5 minutes. Okay, we're back on the home screen. We checked out Dataverse. That was really cool. Okay, you have start with app templates, start with page design, start with data. Don't do this first. Maybe this is the way you learn first. My opinion, come over here to create and start with a blank app. That's my opinion. This is going to give you the most knowledge, the fastest knowledge, quickest. Come over here, do a blank app, set up a very simple form. Now, if you want to make it simpler, set up a SharePoint list and then pull that in and use a form, or set up an Excel table and pull that in and make a form. Start with a blank app first, right? You could start from a SharePoint list or Excel. These are also options. You have videos to watch. This is step one for me. You can go check out Copilot. It's pretty neat, right? But that's not where you start first. Now, when you start a blank app, there's a couple options. You have Canvas, you have Dataverse, and you have Power Pages website. So Canvas, this is what you're used to seeing. This is what most people are building right now. Model driven. This is going to be premium cost. We'll get into it right now. Canvas. Why should you do Canvas? You want it to have a nice, pretty form. You want special graphics in there. You want it to look, really neat, and it could even be mobile friendly and look like a real mobile app. That's why you should do Canvas. A lot of people are in Canvas. Also, another great reason to do Canvas is it comes with Microsoft 365 licenses. There's a few different ones. There's a few select Microsoft 365 licenses that a Canvas app comes with. You can use SharePoint, Excel, or a third option is Dataverse for Teams without going premium. Now you have blank app based on Dataverse. Now this is built on top of Dataverse. Model-driven apps are great for very complex data, and maybe you already have Dataverse tables built into a Dataverse environment that you already have. Model-driven apps can actually grow much larger than a Canvas app. So Canvas apps are probably going to be smaller and less going back into the data and editing, the 1 millionth row, right? If you have a millionth row that you want to go back into and edit, it's probably not a smart choice to use Canvas. If you're going to go back and edit the 1 millionth row that you made, 2 years ago or a year ago, then Dataverse may be the choice for you because it is very similar to SQL. It's a real database, and that is a main reason to use model-driven apps. Now, Power Pages. Power Pages is a type of Power App, they call it, but it's a website. It is external. So when you think Canvas and Dataverse, so Canvas and Model, they are internal only, internal to your organization. Power Pages, external. This is for the public. So that is a reason that you may want to create a Power Page. So now another option is upload an image from an app or form, and then we can convert it into an app. So you can see here the example they give. They're literally drawing this out, and they're drawing it out, Microsoft is trying to make this easier and easier for us. And some people like to sketch out their apps before they do it. That way you can have the UI, UX to build on it. And you can even see the tips for your image, not recommended for complex forms. Multi-page forms, not recommended, colored backgrounds, underlines, images that are larger than 4 megabytes, hand-drawn images that are not neat. Right here is the image that I'm going to upload. So I'm going to upload this image. I just created in Paint in just a few seconds. I'm going to upload it, and we're just going to click Next. And we're going to say a phone app. How about that? So it's identifying. It was really simple. You can tag each one, and then we'll click Next. Now notice that it says connect to a Dataverse table. So connect your app to an existing Dataverse table. So on this one, we're not actually stuck there. Or if you want to hook it up later, choose an option. I'm just going to say no. Just skip this for now. Just create me an app. I don't want to be forced into Power Apps Premium. I know Microsoft maybe wants us there, but I don't want to be forced into Power Apps Premium. So we have a nice little awesome Power App that we threw together in a few seconds. We have a text input. We can write in here, and we have 2 date pickers. So pretty neat, pretty fast, shows up, working. It is working with Classic. Now that I mentioned Classic, let's talk about that. Classic or Modern. Now, if you come up here to Settings and you go to General, there is Modern Controls and Themes. And I've been over this a bunch, and this is opinionated. And I've seen it opinionated between a bunch of different people. Do we want to do everything in Modern yet, or do we want to do everything in Classic? I'm going to say, and this is my opinion, if you know what you're doing in Power Apps, if you have been doing Power Apps, go full Modern if you know that you can do your entire app in full Modern. That includes everything. That includes galleries that are not modern yet. I think that you should do everything fully modern if you can. If you're going to mix between the two, then just stay classic. That's my opinion. And the reason I say that is because at some point you're going to have to come back and edit your classic ones and update them to be full modern. And no one likes to come back into their old apps and redo all the work after you have it nice and pretty. So that's my opinion on that. All right, so now let's talk about another one. We also talked about another topic, and that was when you start off an app, should you do mobile or should you do Canvas? So I'm just going to open up Power Apps again. And let's say I create a new app. The first thing that pops up is tablet or phone format. Tablet or phone. If you do phone, it's very hard to make it look good on a tablet or a desktop screen. If you choose tablet, it's totally possible to make an app responsive and make it look good on desktop, tablets, and phones. I, 99% of the time, always choose tablet. I almost never choose phone first. It's possible that maybe you just know this app 100% of the time is going to be phone and it's never going to go to a desktop computer. That's possible, but I always choose tablet, and then I make my app responsive if I need to. All right, so now in 2024, there is another new type of Power App, and it's called Cards. Cards are micro apps. They're very neat. So these are mini, tiny, I call them like web parts that you could put in Teams maybe, or you could put them in somewhere. It's tiny cards that you can create low code, interactive UI, use, share them, and collect data. So they're really neat. It's just little tiny Power Apps. So you can see it's just a very simple Power App that's a card that collects a tiny bit of data. Maybe you can throw it into a Teams chat or a Teams channel, and you just have a very simple Power App right here that you could have, collect some information and store it somewhere. So that's Power App Cards. It's decently new. I like the idea. Sometimes you just kind of want to ask one question. Now, finally, I just want to get into one more thing because this question came up before. I created some apps that use date pickers and all kinds of things. A lot of my learning came from the templates, starter templates. I created an app that used a calendar part, and it brought in all this information on the calendar. That started with Book a Room. If you check out Book a Room, there's some really neat stuff in there about using dates. So I would check out some of these templates and kind of break them down as much as you can. The list is actually growing. So if you can start off with a template, why start off with a blank app? So starting off with a template is really neat. It's really nice. I would start off blank on my first day of learning and then start going into these templates. So hopefully this was helpful. We went over many different types of Power Apps. So my name is Andrew Hess. Please like and subscribe if you like this content. If you disagree with me, if you have any insight, please let me know in the comments and we can learn together. That's how we grow the community. I'll see you next time. Thanks.